So when cutting your boards, never trust a factory straight edge. So I always just cut, take my board back till it's almost there. Take about a saw blade weight off, and that'll give you a good starting flat edge. Because you know your backstop is true, you know your blade is true because you've checked those. So just do that, and that'll give you at least one good edge on that side for when you're measuring out. I'm measuring all these out to about 5 1/8. That way I have a little bit extra room for sanding. The entertainment center is going to be 5 foot flat. So you want to make sure you have enough room there to sand and make it look pretty. So yeah, let's get after it. You don't want to push your blade down too fast and overbog your saw. So always keep in mind of that. Another thing you could be worried about is know where your knots are and double check for any staples, nails, anything like that. Because just because they say they're new doesn't mean the tree didn't get a nail in it when it was living. So keep an eye on that. Now I always mark where I'm cutting. And then I'll use my speed square and draw a line all the way across. With the newer saws, you don't absolutely have to do that, especially like this one has the shadow light on both sides, so it gives a shadow exactly where it's going to cut. You can trust that. This is habit, and this is how I've always done it, how my dad taught me. So of course, I'm not going to say one way or another which way is better. You do it how you like. And I'm sure as long as the measurement's right, you won't have any problem. Now I'm just using a mechanical pencil because these don't have to be extremely accurate. I do have a marking carve over here. Somewhere, wherever my wife put it. I do have a marking carve. I don't know if you notice this is a single bevel. So in other words, when you put it flat against whatever you use to make your mark, you put the flat side against it, do a soft cut, and then you can really press down and get a good mark in the wood. This is for like extreme accuracy. When you're doing your cabinet making or your final cuts, you'll want to use one of these because pencils are great for everyday use, but if you need extreme accuracy, even that pencil going against here, the plastic will hold it out a little bit. The plastic on the pen, and then so you'll have to have it at a weird angle. It breaks a lot for mechanical pencils. Carpenter pencils, the lead is so wide that you got almost 1/8 of an inch there in your marking. So how are you going to be extremely accurate? This one gives you pinpoint accuracy. So make sure you have one of these if you're doing some extremely close cuts that you need to be 100% accurate on. For these are going to be sanded down beyond this, so I'm not too worried as long as they're close. Now, when I say close, I mean I'm cutting exactly on the line, but I'm making my line like 1/8 of an inch over 5 feet or 60 inches. So keep that in mind if you're going to be sanding it that edge down. Always leave yourself room for sanding and finishing it up. Otherwise your table's actually going to be shorter than what you wanted. Now, I should have a little table there to keep that from bouncing down. I don't have one, unfortunately. But what I do have is a hand, and it is not going to be close to the blade. It's going to be on this side there to support this board from popping up once the cut goes through. So get exactly where you want it before you ever put your finger on the trigger. Line it up good. Make sure it's flat against your back there. Line it up real good. I'm going to switch hands, make sure it's still good even though I've moved. And there we go. Don't jam your blade in there as soon as you pull that trigger. Let it get up to speed. If you try to jam it in there, there's a good chance you could bog your machine down or fully stop the blade if you just slam it down. So let it get up to speed, go nice and slow. Make sure you do it right the first time. And otherwise you're doing double the work, and who wants to do that? Now, as you can see, these are off a little bit. My floor's a little bit uneven too, but these are both going to be sanded down more than what they are right now. Plus, I still have a factory edge on this longer one. So, what I say about those, don't trust them. Both sides. I know that these have to be accurate in the final result, and I got a little room to play. So I'll take off 1/8 of an inch or so, saw blade width, saw blade and a half width, just to make sure that edge is straight from the get-go, setting myself up for success. Because if you don't do the little steps now, you'll pay for it later. And yes, I should be wearing a dust mask. It's on order. It hasn't gotten here yet. This entertainment center, I'm doing it after work. It's going to take me a few days. So hopefully, it'll be here soon. It's supposed to be here yesterday, or day before yesterday, Saturday. But we all love our postal service. Positive thoughts, right? So you can see I got a good amount of these boards. That's the wrong pile. That's my wife's pile. I've got 2, 4, 6 of these boards cut. That's going to be for the top of the table. I'm cutting them down to length now, and then you'll see me running them through the planer. That planer is extremely loud. It's a cheap one from Harbor Freight. It works for now. Would I recommend it? If you extremely need one and you're doing rough cut lumber, it'll help a little bit. Just make sure you get extra blades when you buy it, because the first blades kind of don't last very long. I don't know what they use, but see, sawdust. It's not bad for a starter. I definitely plan on upgrading, but gotta use what you got. I didn't have the funds to get a really good one that I want, so with time comes that. And other tools, and of course a bigger shop eventually, hopefully. So yeah, let's get out there. It's kind of dark. I'll try to point the camera out there, let you see what I'm doing, but it's going to be dark. My back's going to be towards you. There's no light out there. I have to set it right outside the shop door. There's no light out there, and it's starting dark for the day. I'm just going to try to get 1 or 2 done, and then call it a night. Like I said, I'm doing this after work, my normal work. So this is going to be a few days build. Right now I'm just trying to get the boards cut and ready to start getting them in place and everything. All right, let's move you guys out here. Of course, it looks darker than it really is out there. Actually, that doesn't look too horrible. You can see I just got the Bauer planer. It's not bad. Dust collection really sucks on it, so that's why I take it outside. Just make sure your table's relatively steady and you have the room to run the boards through. Part of the reason I'm cutting my 2x6s before I run them through that is the blade on the miter saw leaves a little bit of chipping on the outside. So with that, that'll help take those down also. So let's get it. In case I ever lose my extension cord, it's kind of light. You know, because you're going to be working in the dark a lot like me. Not really, I'm just playing. I don't know why they do that. case y'all were wondering, you will see me switch shirts multiple times in this video. Like I said, it's going to take me a few days to do this, but today I'm wearing my Trans-Siberian Orchestra shirt. If you've never seen them, definitely recommend it. It is an amazing show. Lots of fire and everything else. And they do a great holiday Christmas story. It's fantastic. I went and seen them in San Antonio. So I'm just going to get one of my boards, start to feed it in there, and get my rough estimate for my height. I want it to where I can slide it through with just a little bit of pressure and then take it down just a little bit. You don't want to overwork your blades and cause a problem. And power up. Put on your hearing protection. That first cut didn't take anything off, so I know it's a little bit too high. So I'm going to adjust it, rerun this one in until I get the height I want, and then I'll run all my boards in before flipping to the other side and doing that side. Now I'm just dropping it down 1/16 at a time. May not seem like a whole lot, but when you're doing this, trust me, don't overbog your machine. that's that process, and it basically just makes it relatively flat. As you can see, they still have a little bit of the curve from the store, but tomorrow I'll be taking off a hair width off the with the table saw. That way, when it comes to the top, I can glue these together and they'll be nice, smooth, flat together. And then from there, it's just prettying them up. But that gives me two sides that are relatively good. I can sand those down pretty quickly. And as you can see, I was trying to make snowfall in Texas. Like I said, the dust collection in that thing sucks. I don't know if it's a design or what. I tried hooking up a vacuum to it, and the back of the saw clogs, but not the vacuum. So I don't know if it's a design flaw or what. But that's what part of the reason I take it outside my shop. And as you can see, the wind is going that way with all the sawdust going that way. Where the change of the wind is depending on where I set it up at. I try to make sure I'm upwind from it. That way all that dust isn't flying into me. Because dust particles are bad. Yeah. Be aware of your surroundings, and if you can keep that stuff out of your mouth and eyes and nose as much as you can, the better. So if you're having to work outside, pay attention to where you're setting stuff up at. That's really it for tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow. Do a bit of cleanup. Hit this with the vacuum hose and clean it all out. Get it back inside. And tomorrow I'll be measuring out the legs and gluing together the top and sanding and everything. So it'll be a fun time. So then, we'll see you tomorrow.